Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Right, so good evening, everyone, and welcome to the election debate for Treasury seat, contest at the central seat. So get your seats, sit down, and settle down. We will start shortly, inshallah. Before we start, I'd like to clarify on the format of the debate. So the format of the debate is just like yesterday's debate. We will have 3 sessions. The first session is on manifesto presentation. The second session will be a question from the moderator. And the third session, we will have a Q&A session. The first session, manifesto presentation is 50 minutes. Second session, question from moderator is 30 minutes. And Q&A session from the audience is 45 minutes. So the first session, the candidates have 7 minutes each to present their manifesto. For the second question, you have 2 to 3 minutes to answer. And the Q&A session 2 to 3 minutes too. And rules of the debate, you have to sit separately, and then you can't communicate along the debate, and you can interject or rebut or comments on either of your points of the candidate's points. So entering the second session, you can rebut or interject any of the candidate's point that he answers or presents. Right. So the 3 minutes we will start. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good evening, everyone. Welcome to the election debate for Treasury seats and contesting at the central seats. Can we give a round of applause for the candidates today? Thank you so much. Before we start, I would like to introduce myself. My name is 𝐕𝐈𝐔𝐌, a third-year first semester student from majoring in political science from 𝐈𝐴 𝐷. And tonight, I will be the moderator for this session. An early disclaimer: I'm not acting as a chairman of 𝐈𝐴 election commission. to avoid any biasness and etc. I will be acting as the moderator of the session. So please please understand and respect my arguments and comments towards the candidates. Towards the candidates along the debates. So we will start now. For the first session, the candidates will have 7 minutes to present their manifesto. So please keep it simple, short, and concise, and give some practical solutions or etc. So the floor is yours, Shifa. 7 minutes.
This. Okay. Assalamualaikum. Hi everyone. So straight to the point, since I just got 7 minutes. My name is Shifa. I am from Kuliah of Economics and Management Science. Welcome. This is my Kuliah. And I'm bachelor in Islamic Finance, minor Islamic Economy. And I chose to run for this treasurer's seat. And since day one of my manifesto, I've been talking about improvement. So I would like to start off by saying about improvement and how it relates to all of my manifestos. So first, improvement. I think I don't want to go and ask everyone again. So it's just basic, never-ending improve. Like it has a never-ending process, right? So our union was built 2019, and we are still in a progress to grow more. So I would like to say an improvement to the progress, which leads to my first manifesto, which is to build a bigger scale as a union and to work on a big as a union. So this one, I would like to say to build a bigger platform. And this is what I mean by saying where outsiders are like big companies where they want to reach students. So we as a union will be the platform to reach the student. That is what I mean to build a bigger platform. And this automatically connects to my next manifesto, which is to provide training for student-oriented business for the better of them, like for the better improvement for them. This is why I choose this as a second manifesto after having a build the first as a bigger platform, because when we build a bigger platform, we will automatically, what is the next move when we get the platform? What are we going to do next? We have to train students. And why I say training students on student-oriented business, because different students have different base of interest. And for example, we go back campus, we have our major, like we have different kuliahs, and all of us have a different business mindset. Same goes to Kuantan, same goes to Pago. So to train them to have a financial mindset of a business, like how you should have a mindset of getting the profit, how to have a mindset on building a scheme, building a profit stable for yourself, is what the training means. And I would like to give an example. For example, let's say to build to training. Okay, let's say we students, we have faced a lot during this COVID. Okay, I personally have faced a lot during this COVID, where families have no incomes and no sources of income. We managed to somehow survive, and alhamdulillah, we are getting out of the COVID. So when we struggle that time, we have just how much sources of income? 1, 2, 3. But we have learned a lot to have many sources of income when those hard times comes. What if next COVID comes for hit us for 5 years? We need to have a stable financial income. So I would like to start this as a university student to build them, to give training for them. Since they enter the university, they know how to keep that, to have many sources of financial income. That kind of a training will help them to grow. And once they have graduated, they know how a business should plan, how they can financially manage, how they can train to have their own business, and so on and so forth. So that leads the second one, manifesto, and it continues to my third manifesto, which is to bring in connection and sponsors worldwide. Why I'm saying that benefits all over the students. Why I'm saying to bring connections and the sponsors, because when we train the students to be specific, to be great in one field that they have interest in, the sponsors, the people outside, like they will be looking towards these students who have this mindset, to have this creative idea. Based on what I have even interviewed, or I have even have a small discussion with the people, I have learned that they are seeking not for just 5 years experience. Other than 5 years experience, all they need is students who have a great mindset, who have a great thinking skills that they will know how to lead the business if they join the company. So this will lead them to have a sure to brief sponsors to bring in connection because they need students nowadays. So this ends the third manifesto, and for me, I would like to end this by saying, let's make changes together and let's go bigger scale. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Shifa. So now pass on to Brother Hairil. You have 7 minutes. Yes.
Bismillah. A leader once said, "To command is to serve, nothing more and nothing less." The first thing that I did when I started at 𝐈𝐈𝐔𝐌 was to get engaged in student societies. And one of them is 𝐈𝐈𝐔 Student Union. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Hairil Aflan bin Muhammad Zamri, second year, second semester, student from Kuliah ICT. I'm taking Bachelor of Computer Science. I received a lot of experience when I joined 𝐈𝐈𝐔 Student Union as a Chief of Staff of the Office of Treasurer. I've played a vital role in ensuring the seamless operation of the office. I was in charge of the timeline where everything must be based on the specific dates. In addition, I serve as a link between the top and bottom levels of the Treasury Office as well as the other office at 𝐈𝐈𝐔 Student Union. From my experience, it taught me how to manage an organization. It taught me how to communicate effectively and so on. Therefore, today, I am contesting the treasurer seat 𝐈𝐈𝐔 Student Union to continue the legacy and to do more. My dear brothers and sisters, today, I would like to share with you my aspiration if I was selected to be the treasurer for 𝐈𝐈𝐔 Student Union. My first manifesto. Every organization, including our beloved 𝐈𝐈𝐔 Student Union, strives toward a financial independence. Before we can achieve financial independence, I hope to lead our union to finance stability. Finance stability is vital to our union in order to meet the needs of the students as well as the operation costs, such as programs and activities may be made. Before we can achieve financial independence, 𝐈𝐈𝐔 Student Unions require a sustainable source of income. There were several ways to keep 𝐈𝐈𝐔 Student Union finance stable. I will continue the previous effort from 𝐈𝐈𝐔 Student Union while also introducing to you some new initiative to Student Union. The new initiative will be to raise funds through digital marketing. In this context, digital marketing here means to advertise on the internet site or in the social platform such as YouTube ads, FB ads, TikTok ads, and so on, or in the applications. I have a story. One of my friends, he was a leader of 𝐕𝐵𝐺𝐻. 𝐕𝐵𝐺𝐻 is an NGO students. The 𝐕𝐵𝐺𝐻 managed to do the digital marketing. He spent around 108K a year. And then, as a result, they get around 500K in a year. It means they get around 37% when they are using digital marketing. As a result of this digital marketing, more funds will mean more money to cater the students' welfare. And not only that, the programs and activities that will be managed will run smoothly. let's move on to my second manifesto. As a treasurer, we need to be transparent. The treasurer, as well as the entire union, need to be transparent and upfront. Previously, during my tenureship in the office of treasurer, there was no frequently update from the treasurer to assess the financial transaction. Did you ponder why does the government announce their budget every year? It is because it is a citizen's right to know where their money is being spent. The same is applicable to our union. It is your right to know where your money being spent. As a union member, I will fulfill your right to know where our money is being utilized. Hence, what is the mechanism that I will be implemented for? I plan to have our financial transaction to accessible to our union members through quarterly, through social media, or in the town hall when we had the opportunity. By this mechanism, I believe there is no space for mismanagement, and we will now be able to see and evaluate how our money being utilized. My dear brothers and sisters, lastly, I wish to expand financial aid for the needy students. I believe there are still students who are still struggle, who are still worried, and who are still stressed about their finance. There were numerous initiatives that may be launched during the previous tenure that made a significant contribution. However, I aim to expand the financial aid for the needy students. For example, we may give them their money. We may give them money as the government give the citizen brain. For this initiative, they can not only they can buy food, but other necessary such as personal care, student materials, and so on. On a final note, it is our responsibility to have our union members on the campus. The welfare of the students must be considered as much as we can. My last wish, I will try to give my best to the university, to the union, and you. As Anton Marot said, to command is to serve, nothing less and nothing more. Ben on me, I will treasure your word. Thank you everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, so thank you so much, Brother Hafiz. So now we will move on to the second session. The second session is a question from the moderator. And yeah, make it spicy, comment, rebut, interject points from the other candidates, so that we may look at a more feasible solution, a more practical solution, especially because this is a sake of treasury, right? So the first question is for both candidates. You have you have 3 minutes to answer. That yeah, talking about IMSU, we are an independent body. We are registered as an NGO, and yes, eventually we will need a stable financial. We need to be independent of financial independency, and we don't need to hoping or ask more money or funds from the IAM. So what the question is that yes, the union is still in its infancy stage. We are still a baby. We are only around 4 to 5 years. Will the foundation of financial independent union be achieved within this tenure? So again, the question is that the union is still in its infancy stage. Will the foundation to a financially independent union be achieved within this tenure? So you have 3 minutes. I pass on to Brother Hairil.
Thank you to Brother Haziq. So, thank you for the question. So the question is, I am still in an infancy stage. So this is related to my first manifesto. I aim to lead our IM student union to be finance stable first. So before we can achieve financial independence, So I hope our student union to be finance stable first. When we have a finance stable, so we can do more about the financial independence. So we can collaborate with the office and TRAP to the generate income. So we can do the previous initiative from the SU student union. So for me, I aim to lead our union to the finance stability. So that's from me.
So right, yeah, you talk about your first manifesto, that is to grow IMSU revenue through digital marketing. And yes, you said that you are the chief of staff of the previous tenure of treasurer of IMSU. And can you share any what's the initiative that the previous treasurer of IMSU did that the goal to achieve the financial independence, and give us or share with us some of your practical social initiative that you want to do if you are to be elected as office of treasurer.
Okay, thank you, Brother Z. So for me, the previous initiative from SU Student Union have been done is a lot. So I will continue the previous effort, such as they uh, they will um, they will provide or they will raise fund through the sponsorship, through the YB or so on, and through the programs. So they have go to the merchandise program, so they will get profit from that. And I also to continue to improve the previous initiative, which is digital marketing. So where everyone, let's say I will give my example. So when you watch a video, a YouTube video, there was an advertisement from you from before you watch a video. So from the advertisement is the digital marketing. So the people can see the video and they will raise fund through the digital marketing, through the video. So this will build a good income for the student union to be finance stable. So that's from me. Thank you.
Right, thank you so much. So one second. So from Brother Hairil, a question, he mentioned that the previous tenure of Office of Treasury did some merchandise raise funds from YB or MPs in Malaysia. And yeah, talking about that, we look at the nearest student union besides Malaysia. So it is the NUS or National University of Singapore, MAC, student union. So yeah, I think the candidates have uh, have seen that what Dr. Omar shared with us, right? What the NUSU, I think, NUSU have acquired assets such as buildings or cafes and etc. So yeah, talking about that, relating to that, yeah, as a student union, we need more assets because we cater on more students, and that's not the goal. We just we don't need to just raise funds and etc. So in your opinion, yeah, the same question as we still at the infancy stage. We still up to 5 years. We still currently we are a baby. Yeah, we are a baby of as a student union. So in your opinion, how if you are elected, uh, does the foundation will the foundation to a financial independent union be achieved within this tenure if you are elected as a treasurer of finance? You have 2 minutes.
That's okay. So financial stability within this tenure, right? Yes. I believe there is always a first step. Like since we are coming from a baby, we have to take a first step up. And no matter we fall or we get up, we keep stepping up. We keep moving on, right? So yes, we can when we put the first step. So that also includes in my manifesto, which is to build the platform for the bigger scale that has the step towards what we need to grow as in a bigger scale as a union. Because I do also look through UK union, but US union, there are so many years of a union, but we are just newly established. And I believe there is always the first step that needs to lead towards what we need. And this has to make many kind of sources of income to make sure that sources of income will lead to the financial stability. For example, I would like to say I was the PR for IO office in last tenure for SU, and we managed to bring in sponsors during every event, and also we managed to bring in sponsors. The latest was masterclass, which we approached them. We approached so many people, so they willing to give us 50 for free for the students, which is one worth $180. So that's how the first step began. So we started
we always talk about funds, raising funds, and asking funds. So what's the point being an independent body as student union, but we keep asking funds from people, from organization. So share with us your practicality or your initiative. If you are to be elected as a treasurer of IMSU, what business that we initiate, or what initiatives, just like Brother Hairil Aflan compared to you, he said that he want to do digital marketing through YouTube ads, Insta ads, and any ads, etc. So what are you offering to us that, to achieve the financial independency to IMSU?
Okay, which leads rather than asking funds. For example, let's say we are doing a program. I'm just going to give an example, okay? So let's say we are doing a program, we are asking for the budget, we are looking for a sponsor, but what do we get in return from it? So what I have planned, which is also I've been discussing with my lecturers and researchers and all, that when we do a program, we have to get something in return. We don't use the budget that we have, but we have to gain profit from it. From starting small, from that we grow how an event, or how that event which we relate to business, that gives us back what we have. Like for example, let's say budget is the capital. Being a finance student, I'm sorry. Let's say we use the budget as a capital. So we have to take something in return, which is a kind of a profit. So what do you do in that event to get back few money that you have used? This is also in one of my plan, and I hope this will lead to have a financial stable rather than having funds or searching for funds, because we're gonna get what we give. Thank you.
Right, thank you so much, Nurshifa. So the next question is for Brother Hairil. You mentioned that you were the chief of staff of Office of Treasurer for the previous tenure, and it's quite ironic when I read your manifesto, the second one, to ensure, especially the second one, to ensure transparency of financial transaction. For me it's quite ironic. My question is that for a tenure, for 1 year in as a chief of staff of in Office of Treasurer, what efforts did you do to make sure that to ensure transparency of financial transaction in your times as chief of staff? So I think it's quite early. You were the chief of staff or treasurer of IMSU, and you should have a capacity to advocate for that. The transparency, transaction, etc. But why did you offer here as a candidate of Office of Treasurer? But why didn't you advocate before this as a chief of staff? So just share with us or explain with us any particular reasons, etc. Or did you have initiative to make sure that the transparency of IMSU financial transaction be known to the stakeholders? You have 2 minutes.
Thank you, Brother Nabil. So, the previous tenure as a chief of staff of the Office of Treasurer, I have with Brother ID and also with Sister Ada to ensure the smooth operation of the office. So, for me, it is transparent. It is one of the features effective corporate management is transparency in financial management. So for me, it is a value to our union to be a transparent. So that's why I would like to help our union to be transparent and to improve the initiative from the previous student union. So the student union and as a union members, they will assess the financial transaction to know where their money is being spent through our social media, so they can ask anything regarding the financial transaction or in the town hall when we had the opportunity.
Yeah, I know that's your manifesto that you want to advocate for transparency. Yeah, and also we know that it's part of the manifesto, and we seen your poster. But I just want to know, what did you do as chief of staff previously? Previously in the office of treasurer tenure. So yeah, because again, it seems quite ironic you contest as a candidates for office of treasurer, but the second manifesto to ensure transparency should be initiated or should be managed from the previous tenure. So in your capacity, last tenure as a chief of staff, what did you do, or the initiative, etc.? Yeah, because it seems like, for me personally, it seems like the office of treasurer for the last tenure did nothing to advocate for transparency of financial transaction. Then you offer here as a candidate for office of treasurer for the 𝐈𝐈𝐔𝐌 election 2032.
Okay, thank you for the question. So during initially when I started at office of treasurer, we will discuss about our vision and our mission in the office of treasurer. So they will discuss what we have to do about the financial transaction. So every programs or every initiative that we will propose a budget. So they have gone through the treasurer, which was Brother Dia. And also, when they have go to the Brother Dia has to know where their money is being spent, why they have go to the budget, why they have huge amount of budget. So this is the previous tenureship. So they have know where their money or where our money to be spent. So they have to go to the treasurer. So the treasurer has to look at a proposed budget. So if they have a necessary or they have a reasonable, so the treasurer brother have to approve it, and so on. Okay, thank you.
Right, thank you so much, Brother Hairil, for your response. So yeah, to Sister Shifa, you are a third-year student in KENMS, and yeah, previously, yeah, compared to Brother Hairil, he has a credibility, he has a position, he has a status, previously as a chief of staff at Office of Treasury. So what makes you to contest as treasurer of 𝐈𝐼𝐔? That yeah, what you offer to the table, that for people to elect you as a treasurer of 𝐈𝐼𝐔, because previously you just said that you are the PR of Office of International Affairs, and that's way far from the job scopes of Office of Treasurer. So looking at here, me as a moderator, looking at here, Brother Hairil is the more credible, and should be he is as treasurer of 𝐈𝐼𝐔 for the next tenure, because he were the chief of staff, and he know more than you, because he was the chief of staff. So yeah, what makes you think you are credible as a treasurer of 𝐈𝐼𝐔 for the next tenure, and what you bring to the table, and what can you offer to us as stakeholders? Thank you. You have 3 minutes.
Okay, thank you so much, Brother Nabil, for the question. Okay, I would like to say more of what I have experienced to this floor, which is for 1 year, since 2016, I was SRC back in my college for the position of treasurer. I had 1 year. And continued, I was here in IIUM, MRC Asia. The position I had was treasurer. So 2 years of treasurer. And I had so many activities, so many programs which is under online, face-to-face, which I was controlling the treasurer back in MRC when I with my mahalla. And that includes 2 years. I worked in a finance firm after my diploma before I entered to UIA. So I learned from them how to grow money, how to make money, and which leads the interest of me choosing the position treasurer. The same thing goes when I had the interest since I was studying in International Islamic University. I want to get the engagement of being around the international people. So I joined international office, but I was the head of PR. What I gained from being head of PR is so many connections. So with the stuff what I had in the experience of the treasurer for 2 years, and with me what I connection of how I connect with the people, how I know around the globe, how I communicate with them. I would like to combine both of it and give it back to the unit to grow on a bigger scale.
Yeah, thank you. Again, you talk about you raise funds and etc. as a PR of in Office of International Affairs, but yeah, you raise funds for only I don't know, masterclass, right? So it's just one, you raise funds for that particular initiative, masterclass. So but being an Office of Treasury, you have to sustain the whole IMSU. And it's not just the officers and your costs, your operation costs, the initiative, the programs that IMSU want to do. And but we also talking about welfare. And we have food banks, right? We have to sustain the food banks. And also we have the election system that we want to use, and that requires cost. So you search funds for only a particular office in IMSU. But as a treasurer of IMSU, we are talking about you have to sustain for 3 campuses, right? You are contesting as a central seat, and you have to sustain search for search for fund or build your revenue for all 3 campuses in IIM. So yeah, being a student in Gombak, you are quite privileged because we have 𝐓𝐷𝐷𝐷 as our office. But IMSU in Kuantan and Pago, they didn't have any. So they have to search for a room that they have to book. But you have a privilege, 𝐓𝐷𝐷𝐷 here. But it's not fair, Being a central seat, you have quite a big privilege. But it seems that you don't have anything to offer to students in Pago and Kuantan. So yeah, again, what do you bring to the table? Just share your initiative or your aspiration as a treasurer of IMSU, because again, you just shared that you raise fund for only a particular office in masterclass and in Gombak, right? So Office of International Affairs in Gombak. So again, what do you bring to the table? Because you are a treasurer of IMSU for all 3 campuses, Pago, Kuantan, and Gombak.
Thank you for the question again. So I have also had the concern of thinking about our campuses in Kuantan and Pago. Let's say of course, we have many industries and all to look for. The research companies that are looking forward students to have them or assistant them to get them as an assistant, I would like to say to build a strong connection even with the researchers, including for Gombak, for Kuantan and Pago. For Pago, maybe some language, any kinds of training materials, training researchers, big companies that enhance that. And for Kuantan, they have medical research, they have medical scientists that really want someone as their assistant. They would pay for being an assistant for their students, right? So that is also in my plan, which I also include for the students in Kuantan and Pago, that they also will have their thing and they will get the recognition that they also will receive. Thank you.
Right, thank you so much, UAC. Right, can we give a round of applause for both candidates? Right, great answer. Yeah, again, we move on. I think this is the last question because we don't have time. So the questions for both candidates is, would financial stability or acquisitions of assets be the focus of candidates within the tenureship? So just like I mentioned before, a response to answer from Sister Shifa, you are a treasurer of IMSU for all 3 campuses. And yeah, you are students, KICT and also KENMS in Gombak. You have the privilege of 𝐓𝐷𝐷𝐷, and you have you have a car, right? I don't know, IMSU have a car answer. But yeah, right? I also have a car. You have 𝐓𝐷𝐷𝐷 and stuff. You have all the privilege here, being a central candidates, right? So you have all the privilege. But we are not just talking about assets in Gombak that you have to acquire. We are talking about assets of IMSU that we have to acquire for Pago and also for Kuantan. Because let's be fair, everyone will all IMSU members will vote for you regardless of their campus. So Kuantan, Pago, and Gombak will vote for you. But again, what do you guys bring to the table? Assets or financial stability, they share with us that you have in mind that you want to do in Kuantan, for example, or Pago, for example. Yeah, contextualize the initiative or your thoughts on that, and how do we want to gain access and etc. I think I have been far away, but again the question is that would financial stability or acquisition of assets be the focus of candidates within the tenureship? So both candidates have 3 minutes. I think I'll give to Brother Hairil first.
Thank you, Brother Nabil. So, financial stability or increase of the assets, asset acquisition. So for me, both are important. So when we have an asset, we can do a lot of initiative. We can do a rent and so on. So my plan is to have the financial stability, of course. So this is related to my first manifesto. While also we can discuss with the assistant treasurer from the Kuantan and also Tobago. So we can discuss where our assets, what our assets that we can initiate and what we can do to generate income. So for me, it is good to both the initiative to do, so the financial stability and also to the assets. So we can discuss more with the other treasurer in Kuantan and also in Pakov. So that's all from me. Thank you.
So thank you for the question again, Nabil. So for the assets, I totally agree. We should own an asset for the campus of Kuantan and Pagu. But to own an asset, we should have like a strong financial stability, like a strong thing to own it, to own the asset. And for me, we have to start sikit-sikit lama-lama jadi bukit. So we started and then we own it, then we can like give it. Since we have the first step, we had Wadi Budi and we have card. So the next process, it will be like owning something in Pagu, something in Kuantan. So it will be like a process, and I hope inshallah we'll reach to it from people that we know, people by investors or those who are interested to invest on students, those who are interested to help those students who want to build something. Let's say one big company likes our projects, likes our stuff, they want to invest. It can happen, maybe, inshallah. So from that process, maybe we will be able to have an asset in Kuantan and Pago.
Well, thank you so much for both candidates. So that's all question from the moderator. So now we go to the Q&A session. I think we have around 30 minutes or so. Q&A from the candidates. So yeah.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shifa, Hairil. So my name is Alif, one of also the candidate for IELTS Student Union, and I think I have a question actually to Brother Hairil, because for me the union should be independent. That is my opinion. However, and also you mentioned about your first manifesto as financial stability. And I think financial stability can only comes with financial sustainability. And to be stable, to be sustainable, we need to be independent. We cannot rely on someone. So you mentioned in the early part of your manifesto, in the early part when you answer Brother Nabi's question, you talk about funding from the YBs, the MPs, relying on people who come and go. For me, it's not sustainable. Hence, it will not be stable. So how do you think that getting money, of course not through our own efforts, of course your manifesto regarding this digital marketing, it is stable, it is something that is sustainable, but your opinion on getting money from MPs, from the politicians, for me is not sustainable and stable. So why do you think that this kind of funding of fundraising, in your opinion, will make the union stable? So thank you.
Sorry, okay, while waiting for Brother Hairil, I think, anyone can just ask a question if you want to ask. While waiting for Brother Hairil to answer.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Mohammad Hamdan, another candidate for international affairs seat. My question is towards Shifa, and Brother Hairil can follow up after she answers. So my question is, as Sister Shifa, your interesting manifesto. I was curious whether your goals will affect other departments of the union. Thank you.
Yes, okay. Thank you, Amdan, for the question. So, as I'm running for the seat treasurer, I bet this will never affect other office as we are a union. We are union and we are together as a union. So each office, every office, whatever they're working for is for the union. So as a treasurer, I will specifically say that points in my manifesto to work in as a union, and it will never clashes with other office. And I also do have like a pre-planned stuff for to work together with other office as well. So it will never clash. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Brother Alif and Brother Hamdan. So I will answer the question from Brother Alif. Like I said, I will continue the previous effort, such as raise funding for the MPs or YPs, or we can make a program for the merchandise, and also I will introduce to our union members is digital marketing. So digital marketing is not a simply funds, and it is related about the database, for the funds, our funders, and it is good for our union to be the finance stable first. So digital marketing here is a good example to our union to be a finance stable. So this is my opinion. I will continue the previous effort, and also we will discuss when I was selected to be the treasurer. We will discuss of the office of intern, and also we can do more about the financial management. So for the Brother Hamdan, so it is not clash, or if there is a clash, we can collaborate with them. So we can collaborate with them to do any initiative or any programs that will be handled. So that's all from my question. That's all from this answer. Thank you.
Sorry, Brother Hairil, but you actually didn't answer my question. I praise your initiative for digital marketing, and I actually, it is good. As I already established, my question for you is, how do you see asking money from MPs or politicians rather than to generate your own revenue as something that is stable and sustainable? That is the question. You don't have to keep on saying about your digital marketing. I praise that. I just want to know about the relation with the MPs or asking money for them. Thank you. Same goes for myself. You cannot, as you said, you can. If there is a clash in future in the upcoming tenure, we cannot collaborate with everybody we have clash with. So can you clarify that? Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. I'm Yasmin, and for 2021 RKHSS, I won the treasurer seat. So I have 3 questions for tonight. Okay, so first question is for Sister Shifa. In cases when you are in dire need of funds, but the sponsors require you to act in their desired way, which will break the concept of the union now because you have to follow some other organization. So which would you choose? The second question is for Brother Hairil. What is the return of investment or cost benefit analysis of the digital marketing that you're proposing? Because YouTube ads, Instagram ads has high cost. So will it be beneficial enough to do crowdfunding in that matter, since there are many other ways to raise funds, such as sponsorship or agreements with other parties, right? Last question is for both candidates. There had been a drastic increase in fees for international students, but IUM amenities quality are getting worse. So what is your plan to gain the financial transparency from the IUM management regarding this matter? Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, sister, for the question. For the first question, if I'm not mistaken, it's as a required treasurer, how will you go along with others that are going to give us sponsors and all? So, alhamdulillah, as I know, there is a new office for a legal office in our IMSU this tenure, right, for the seat. So I believe we will, as a union, we will see all the requirements before we even sign up. And we also do keep in mind that we are from International Islamic University and we have do's and don'ts as well. So we will always follow the legal things and we will just blindly get what we want. So we have our rules by the legal office and we will follow that. And yeah, that's how we get it. Thank you. And can I answer the final question as well? Okay. So for the final question, since the fees has increased and all, so when we, as if I am elected to be the treasurer, inshallah, we will plan and make like the progress or statements or not statement. It's like to discuss on what causes the fees to increase or what are the things that needed to be increased or some kind of a solution for the student as a start of a student because all of us will be affected, right? So we will have a statement or according to the law, according to the act, we will go check by check, one by one to help them, make them understand that not all students are able to pay their fees. Some students have their requirements, some students have their disabilities, and some students have their own financial crisis. So we will try to make them understand according to the law and act and everything as what we can do as an NGO and a student union. Thank you.
Okay, so I will answer for the question, Brother Alif. So I agree, we cannot depend on much on the to raise fund with the MPs. Like I said, I will continue the previous initiative. But to raise fund from the MPs is not my main point for the next tenure that I will plan. So it is my plan, my main point plan is to digital marketing. So my plan is digital marketing. So when we have a good relationship or good networking with the MPs, so we can get ad money, but it is not my main point or main agenda for the next tenure. Like I said, I will continue the previous effort initiative. So, but the main point for me is for my first manifesto. Okay, thank you, Brother Dave. So, next question from Brother Amdan. So, if it is clash, so we can, okay, for my opinion, we can discuss about the other office whenever it is clash of programs or initiative. So we can, we can collaborate or we can do together. We will do together. Or if it's not, we can collaborate with them. So we can negotiate with them, or we can discuss with them who are going first. This is my answers. And for the next question, brothers, sisters. So for the students fee, so we will have, for me, we will have a discussion first about their fees, about the students fee. We will hear the students' voices, and then we can go negotiate or discussing with our lineup student union, and then we can go further so we can get the answers from the discussing. That's my answer. Thank you.
Hairil, you haven't answered my other question regarding the return of investment. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sisters, for reminding me. So for the, what is it? Can you repeat again? Sorry.
So basically, you propose digital marketing as a crowdfunding mechanism, right?
Yeah.
But you know, like digital marketing, Instagram ads, YouTube ads, Facebook ads, they have a lot of costs. So how will you ensure through return on investment, cost benefit analysis, that the costs incurred for digital marketing will get a more benefit of crowdfunding from the people? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sisters. So from what I know from the previous tenure, they were planned to allocate 3,000 ringgit for the crowdfunding. So in my tenure, in my plan, so we will have a slow or few steps to go big. So in my plan, I will plan to have spend 3,000 ringgit for the digital marketing. So we can continue, we can provide or we can continue the previous allocated budget so that we can go for the digital marketing. As a result, when the digital marketing get a lot of benefit, we can allocate more for the spending. So, like I said from the previous my speech, the previous pertemuan DQ. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Rafiq Shami. You can call me Rafiq, candidate for Vice President 1 IMSU 2022. So I would like to ask a few questions, specifically to Brother Hairil. My question is regarding the digital marketing. Of course, you have explained a bit on your first manifesto, but I would really like to know if you have, like, what is your experience or skills regarding digital marketing, because the mechanism to have a digital marketing plan for IM Student Union is like what Sister Yasmin said, the ROI is quite big, the return on investment is quite big. So do you have like maybe any existing skills that correspond to digital marketing that maybe can help the tenure, the next tenure, if you plan to implement it? Because if not, we will have to spend the whole tenure to train and acquire the skills for our subcommittees, and that will waste a lot of money and time, and it will does not give a lot of profit at the end. Other than that, I would like to ask second question of mine is that regarding your third manifesto, the financial aid plan, can you tell us exactly what is your mechanism and plan on how to implement these financial aids, and how does it correspond to your other manifesto? And the third question to Brother Hairil also, I would like to ask, because the previous tenure has been closely related with 𝐕𝐵𝐺𝐿MAN, and 𝐕𝐵𝐺𝐿MAN has some cases that are not really good in the optic of the public. So what do you plan to do with the situation on the next if you are elected? Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Rafiq, for the question. So the first question. So the mechanism that will be implemented is we will have a team to conduct the digital marketing. So we will have collaborate with the office of OCAP, office of the enterprise to do the digital marketing. And we as a student, we cannot afford or we cannot do because of we have a responsibility of a student. So we hired a company to do this digital marketing. So, and therefore, there are a few students who DM me to willing to help this digital marketing when I posted on the social media. So it will be help for our union through this digital marketing. So the second question is, I aim in my third manifesto, I aim to expand the amount of distribution of money, and also I aim to expand the number of needy students that we need to have. So we can do a lot of initiatives to give them. Like I said, we can give them money. So based on the according situations. And lastly, for the third question, sorry, can you repeat again?
So yeah, so to clarify, my third question is, in the previous tenure, IOM Student Union has been closely related with 𝐕 the Adun of Gombak. So I would like to know if you will continue the effort for the next tenure, because 𝐕 currently, I think he has not a good optic, and if you want to be closely related to him, it will be, I think, a bit detrimental to our union. So please tell us, like, maybe what is your opinion or what are your stand on that? Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Rafi. So my opinion, I have mentioned that I will do the previous tenureship. So in my opinion, whenever we can whenever we can collaborate, whenever we can have a good networking with them, with other parties, so we can do that. In my opinion, that's all. Thank you.
Test. Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Fatima. My question is just simple. As we all know, as a union members, we need to pay a membership fee, right? So I'm not sure is all of this member aware that they need to pay the membership fee. So how do you guys think is that the fee is beneficial to the all members, since we need to be a part of the union and we need to pay the fee? So what do you guys think, and how uh, for the next tenure? So yeah, thank you. I think both of you can answer this. That's okay. Thank you, sis, Tima, for the question. So yes, aware of the membership, and I would like to say and suggest that we should have more benefit as a student. We get that membership, and since we have like just established 2019, sooner the membership benefits will increase throughout what accessibility that we're gonna manage, what we're gonna come. So let's grow, let's make changes together, yeah. So we have to grow and we'll give the benefits more and more. To those maybe like, for example, who got the membership earlier, maybe they got 2 points. Those who gonna get new, maybe they got 1 point. It's grow and it will encourage students to go and get the benefit more. This is simple. Thank you.
So thank you for the question. So my answer is I will continue, and the fees, it is good for the operation cost in IIM Student Union. So we can do a lot of programs or activities that benefit for our students, especially IIM Student Union. So that's my answer. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My question to Sister. Test. Okay, thank you. My question to Sister Shifa, as you said, we are baby student union. So when you are talking about cooperate with some companies, what will attract these companies to have cooperation with the student union? This is the first question. Second question is, as Brother Alif said, when you talk about the independence, if we have cooperation with some companies, these companies can shut down at any time. So we didn't have our independence yet as a student union. So what is the solution for this crisis? At least in terms of digital marketing, even we will have a small ROI, but we still have our independence from the social media platforms. The third question for both of you, it will be also related to the independence. As all of you can notice now, like the recession, inflation hitting the world now. So what will make any company or anyone come and help us as a student union, and he can't cover his cost? That's all. Thank you.
Sorry for interrupting, but for the next question, can you keep it to one question? Because we wanted to, but not the next one, right? Right. Thank you, Mustafa. So for the next audience, I want to ask, just ask one question because we wanted to entertain others. Right.
Test. Thank you, Brother Mustafa. So, okay, what will attract those companies to have interest towards us as a students, right? Okay, if you guys know, our biggest plus is we are studying in an international Islamic university, which eventually attracts so many companies outside when we say we are from International Islamic University. So when we attract them by just saying that we are from this university, we are literally getting that recognition from them, and this will automatically will help them trust on us and invest on us, and that they even approached us by saying, can I get more students from this university, because it will help and benefit them. Let's say it's a local company in Malaysia, but when they get an international student as their client or as their people who are going to work with them, they will get the scope of getting the customers from their country, from an international student country. So their point of view, we are a big plus for them. So thank you. The third question, I'll answer straight before I give. What inflation to cover the loss of each company? So this COVID literally teach us so many stuff, especially during the financial matters, and that's why we're gonna learn how to make a financial stable from having many sources of income. Let's say even any kind of shop, let's say Petronas is selling lanyard. Petronas can sell anything. They are a petrol station, but they sell lanyard because their sources of income towards buying lanyards will refer them to be saving, to have something else to save them for their company, for their future benefits. So that is something that we're gonna implement to students' mindset, so they will have many sources of income to make sure the same mistake won't happen in the future. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullah. I want to ask a question to Brother Hairil. Being an ICT student, what criteria do you have on your opponent? And like your opponent is a finance major, and for the treasury position, can you explain briefly?
Thank you, brothers. So, in my opinion, I believe everyone they're willing to learn for the financial. And the financial literacy, it is a basic things of our needs. And I am willing to learn, and I am keep learning about the financial management, especially in the office of treasurer. From what I experienced, I have learned a lot for the financial management. So, in my opinion, everyone can be the treasurer, as well as long as they have willing to learn the new things in their life. Thank you.
salam, Brother Hairil. My question is towards you. So during your speech, you mentioned repeatedly the importance of transparency in the treasurer's office. So my question to you is, why is transparency just being stressed now, and why was it not such a concern before? And I'm asking this because transparency should be the most important and vital part of the treasurer's office, because that's where all our money is going. So, and you were in the office before, you were working in it before. So why is it only a concern now, and why was it not being stressed before this? And what did you do about it? Thank you.
Thank you, brother. So, my opinion. So, why it is now? Why it is not before? So, it is because I can see. What can I say? I can see a lot of the from my previous tenure. I can see this improvement from the office of treasurer. So, I would like to bring the transparency in my tenureship, and because the previous tenure, like I said, it is good, but it need to be improved. And I realized that, so I will bring the transparency as well as the entire unit in my tenureship. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, okay. Good evening, everyone. First of all, my question is for Sister Shifa. Like, as the moderator mentioned just now, you were previously as a public relations in international affairs, and you had an experience in MRC for finance. So, can you like briefly explain your achievements, your biggest achievements, which could help in this current post you are running for? And I just wanted to remind Brother Hairil, we are waiting for your answer for Brother Mustafa's question, third question just now. Thank you.
Okay. So, achievements. Okay, I have to say it since someone asked. Achievements, I have been one of the nominated for the best student during my college, which influentially attracted me to those many companies. They wanted to work with me, even they have been asking like so many questions. They were like wanting me to work in their company. I said I'm still studying, I couldn't work. So that is how it started. That is how it started, and I would like to engage those companies to overall students, because I don't want it to be one-side benefit. I want it to be beneficial for all the students here. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the Mustafa. I'm really sorry. So we will have a backup plan for when we have inflation. So the office of treasurer will have plan. So we will discuss with other treasurer, or we will discuss with office central to have how our backup plan when we have inflation in this upcoming tenure. Thank you. Yes.
Alright, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, I would like to wish all the best for two of my friends, Shifa and Hairil. So, when we're talking about treasury seat, we're talking about to control, to coordinate the income and out of cash flow in IIUMSU. We need to understand that the responsibility is very big. We need to bear a lot of risk. Like we learn in economics, high risk go with high return. So what I see a lot of questions go to Brother Hairil about their digital marketing. We understand that digital marketing is quite costly, but based on case study, we can see how this can generate income. So from my question is to Sister Shifa. So based on your manifesto, I don't really see a specific idea on how we want to have the main source of income from IIUMSU. So to be specific in this question, let's say if IIUFSU has to be given 500K to be utilized, how you manage to utilize this money to generate income for IIUMSU? So that's the question from me.
Yes, okay, thank you, Brother Zahid, my clear mate. So, okay, just I'll go together with the example that Brother Zahid gave me, which is 5,000 ringgit if we give it to the union. I would suggest like separating it into few parts, which is office activities. We will have an office budget, office activities, which I was also planning to have a formula, a format that, a financial format that indicates to each office as well. Let's say 5,000 ringgit. Let's say we only utilize 1,000 for the offices. All the offices indicate. So from 1,000, maybe one office estimated will get around 500 for their program, for their budget. But in order to do the program or the budget, you have to come up with some business strategy to give back, which we learn return. In return, we need to get something in return. So that will indicate you to work how you want to plan that program, how you want to plan that event, and it will automatically generates the income, which helps you to get that return back to us. And it's not like bunga. Don't take it as a bunga riba. It's totally haram. But it's something that encourages you to give back, so you know the value of the money and you can see the value of the money grow. So from 500, you're gonna give back, let's say 400, or you will get back 600 or something. So that will automatically generate back to student union. It will generate automatically. That is just one part of it from 5,000. This is an example by.
Guys, Assalamualaikum. My name is Farzana Zulkifli and I will ask a questions to Brother Hairil. So my question is, as a future treasurer, how transparency can help and assist the welfare students? Also, by having financial transparency, do you think that our student union should operate like a body that have to generate revenue like a business? All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Farzana. So the first question is how financial transparent is to help the welfare students. So in my opinion, when we show the financial transaction, we can know how money that is being allocated for the students, specifically, particularly in the students' welfare. So when they watch, when they see the amount of money, the amount of the distribution, let's say the amount of the distribution is quite low. So there is awareness for the students or for the student union to help our union members, especially as a students. So that's my question, and my second answer that's my answer. And my second answer for the second question is, pardon me, can you repeat it?
Okay, by having financial transparency, do you think that IMSU should operate as a body that have to generate revenue like business?
Okay, thank you, Fazala. So with the financial transparency, we can have our IM student union to be like a business body. So that's why IM student union have office of integration. So they will focus about the how to generate income for IM student union. So that is my answer for the question. Thank you.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Firstly, I think we all proud that both candidates in front of us they are willing to contribute for our IM student union, and And I think we believe that both of candidates have a lot of experience in IM student union. And like Hairil has experience in treasury office, and also Shifa has a lot of experience in international affairs office. So my question is to Sister Shifa. I'm curious is why, what encouraged you to run for treasurer seats despite of running for the international affairs seats, or like you have experience in public relation, why not you run for office of communication maybe, or corporate? So what encouraged you actually? Okay, thank you.
Thank you for the question, brother. I would like to correct a statement. Before I entered international office, I was a treasurer in MRC Asia in UIM, and before that, I was SRC Student Representative Council in my college, International Islamic College, as a treasurer as well. And I am studying for Bachelor of Islamic Finance, minor Islamic Economy, partially an economist. So, in conclude, my love towards finance and my love towards how to help those students who needs to have a financial stability, who needs to have an idea how to generate income, because I came as every student as well, but I have a clear vision when I totally study to it. But I want to give the same thing, but in a simple example to all the students, so this will help everyone as a union. Thank you.
Right, thank you so much. Can we give a round of applause for both candidates? Well, great answers, and I wish you all the best, and we wish you all the best for this Saturday. So I think that's all. Thank you so much for the audiences, and we are short of time. So let's take a photography session. Please, like always, please squeeze to the center.
Salam, everyone who have attended here. Just as a small token of gift, I have a few watches from Musha. I just got it today, so I would like to give it to all the audience who have come today. You guys can get it from the.
Okay, so let's squeeze to the center for photography session.
That is squeeze to the middle of this hall.